Scramble! Developed by Konami and released in 1981 by Stern. This game sold over 15,000 units in the arcade within 5 months of being released. This ended up being Stern's second most best-selling game ever, right after Berserk. Now this game, back in 1981, when I first saw it in the arcade, it stole a lot of quarters from me. I still really enjoy this game to this day. The controls are very simple. You have just a simple multi-directional joystick and 2 buttons, one for fire and one for bomb. Let's take a look at the arcade game while I talk about it. I really dig that intro music. It's awesome. It's cool. Now the basic object of this game is you're going to be flying your spaceship over this planetary surface. You have to avoid these missiles that are launching up, or you can also destroy them while they're on the ground. You get more points if you destroy the missile while it's in the air. As you play in the game, you'll see your fuel meter go down. If you bomb or shoot a fuel tank, it'll give you some fuel back, so you can try to make it through the level. The game has 5 distinct stages. The first stage is this one here, which is you flying over the normal landscape, bombing and shooting everything. Then you go into a stage that has UFOs flying around. After that is a stage where you're trying to avoid meteors. Then you go into a tunnel type system, and then you end up bombing this enemy base. Now the UFO section, I hate this section. They seem to be able to time themselves to go between your shots. So the best strategy here is to rapid fire, but not in a constant pattern. You try to spray the bullets. Ooh, don't hit the wall. And of course, here's the meteor stage. You can't shoot the meteors, you have to avoid them, but you can still bomb and try to bomb targets down below. Oh. The hardest part is trying to time your bombs to go between the meteors. Now this stage kind of reminds me like a cityscape. After this stage you go into a tunnel complex, which I pretty much don't get there. I have a hard time even getting to the end of this game. Always have had a problem getting to the end of this game. And then at the end of the tunnel complex, you have a enemy base that you'll bomb. You gotta try to maneuver to bomb to finish out the level. And the level will start all over again. So now let's take a look at some ports of this game to some of my favorite consoles. First up, we have Scramble on the Vetrix. Now for a vector graphics display version of Scramble, this is actually very well done. It's a pretty fun game to play, very representative of the arcade game. The controls aren't too bad either. The analog stick seems to work very well in this game. It is definitely a must-have title for your Vetrix. Oh, why hello, Mr. UFOs. Next, we have one that was done by Tomytronic This was a VFD tabletop game. This has all 5 stages, although they are out of sequence. But it's still a really good version of Scramble ported to a little VFD minicade. Pretty neat to have in the collection. Now back in 2015, Johnny WC over in Atari Age released a ROM of Scramble for the Atari 2600. This is frickin' awesome on the 2600. Really great graphics, nice sounds. Overall, it's a really cool game. Now for the ColecoVision, Electric Adventures is working on a port of Scramble that they're going to call Cavern Fighter. Now this is an early alpha version. It doesn't have any sound effects or music or anything, but I was able to try the game out a little bit, and it plays rather nice on the ColecoVision. Really looking forward to this game coming out from Electric Adventures. Now there's actually a version of MESS out there called MESS 64 that emulates all sorts of VFD games, one of which is Tomytronic Scramble. So you can actually play these VFD games in emulation as well. Pretty awesome. Scramble was also included in this Little Retro Remakes mini arcade that was put out a few years ago. Pretty cool little pixelated version of Scramble. Well, that was Scramble. Another great arcade game from the early 80s, another one of my favorites. Thanks for watching.